Cleopatra, the last active pharaoh of ancient Egypt, was undoubtedly one of the most powerful women in the ancient world. But how did she die? Let's find out. It's me. Welcome to my channel. And today we are exploring the bizarre and tragic death of Cleopatra. Her story is well known. Born in 69 BC, Cleopatra was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt. She took the throne at the age of 14 after the death of her father, King Ptolemy XII, and ruled alongside her younger sister, Arsinoe IV. When Cleopatra assumed the throne, Egypt was not a powerful kingdom. It was heavily taxed and exhausted from years of war with Rome. Cleopatra, however, wanted more for her people and set about making Egypt great again. To that end, she needed the support of Rome and its powerful leaders, so she began a series of romantic trysts that ensured her place in the history books. Her first lover was a Roman general named Pompey the Great. He had fled to Egypt after losing a battle with Julius Caesar and was welcomed warmly by Cleopatra. The two quickly fell in love, and Cleopatra bore him a son. However, their romance was cut short when Pompey was assassinated by Roman senators who were jealous of his power. Undeterred by her first failed romance, Cleopatra wasted no time in finding a new lover. This time it was Julius Caesar himself. Their romance was as passionate as it was scandalous. Not only was Caesar a married man, but he was also in the middle of a civil war. Nevertheless, the two lovers met in secret, and Cleopatra gave birth to his son, Caesarion. Their romance lasted until Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC. Now a single mother of two boys, Cleopatra set her sights on securing the throne of Egypt for them. She knew that the Egyptian people looked down on Caesar's sons as foreign rulers, and so she made Caesarion her co-regent, effectively giving him the title of king, while she took the role of queen. But Cleopatra's plans for her sons would be thwarted by another Roman, this time Mark Antony, who was one of Caesar's assassins. Unlike Caesar, however, Antony was not interested in ruling Egypt. He was more than happy to let Cleopatra take care of that, while he focused on expanding Rome's holdings in the east. The two became lovers, and Cleopatra bore him 3 children, twins, a boy and a girl, and a third boy. Despite being lovers, Cleopatra and Antony were technically on opposing sides of a civil war. Cleopatra supported Octavian, Caesar's adopted son and heir, while Antony backed another of Caesar's assassins, Marcus Junius Brutus. In the end, Octavian defeated Brutus and became the first emperor of Rome, taking the title of Augustus. As victors, Octavian and his wife Cleopatra's sister Arsinoe, now the Queen of Egypt, were invited to Alexandria for a grand celebration. But Cleopatra never made it to the party. Furious that her sister had usurped the throne and humiliated her in front of the entire Roman nobility, she took her own life. According to the accounts of Roman historians, Cleopatra's method of killing herself was both dramatic and painful. First, she had a basket of venomous snakes brought into her chamber. Then she laid down on a golden couch, placed the basket on her chest, and allowed the snakes to bite her. Some reports say that Cleopatra used a sharp blade to cut open the basket and hasten the arrival of the snakes. Others claim that she simply lay back and smiled as the snakes slithered over her body and sunk their fangs into her flesh. As the venom coursed through her veins, Cleopatra's heart began to pound. She struggled to breathe as her lungs filled with the deadly toxins. Her skin grew cold and clammy, and her eyes rolled back in her head. The once powerful Queen of the Nile was dying. When her servants rushed into the room to find her, she was already dead. They quickly spread the word to the royal court, and soon the whole city of Alexandria was buzzing with the news of Cleopatra's untimely demise. To this day, we don't know exactly what kind of snakes were used in the assassination. Historians have speculated that they were either cobras or Egyptian mambas, both highly venomous snakes native to the region. What we do know is that Cleopatra's death was a gruesome and painful one. After her death, Augustus took control of Egypt and made it a province of Rome. Cleopatra's children were declared illegitimate, and their lives were spared, at least for a time. Caesarion was eventually put to death on the orders of Augustus, while Cleopatra's other two sons lived out the remainder of their days in luxury in Rome. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.